Larry, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. On the run, this is Jackson. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Second down, and the offense needing 5 yards. On play action, they'll throw. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete. Jake Stoneburner, the big tight end, was the intended target. And it's third down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. They'll set up to throw. And he finds the tight end Stoneburner. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Give him 11 on the gain there. And the Dolphins have a first down.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they can be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
The first carry for DeAndre Washington. It's a nice pickup at 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
And that's been a pretty darn good drive to start things off here in this game. Move the ball downfield well, and after that run, they're set up at 1st and goal.
So it'll be first down here after the run. On 1st and goal, Washington. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Every now and then I scratch my head when I see the draw play called, especially after a great run the previous play. Keep attacking. Sometimes the draw play develops slowly, and that allows the defense to react.
They'll run it with Jackson. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. Now they've gotten it to the 4 on this opening drive, but now they face a 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. That's caught at the 1. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And Frank's kick is good. And the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. So it's our visitors who make the first dent in the scoreboard as they get 3 here on the initial drive of the ball game.
Yeah, it's hard to say who actually won that opening drive. On the one hand, anytime you can come in as a road team and get an early lead, you're going to be thrilled. But at the same time, to have the ball as deep in enemy territory as they did and come away with only 3, that's got to be a little bit of a disappointment.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. Oh, he bowls over it. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Jordan Phillips is the one on the stop.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Finding time. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So here we go, a 3rd down after the 2nd down pass completion. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Now only needed a yard, instead went backwards. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And out come the Dolphins now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. A big play that time for the Dolphins. 43 yards on the ground. And the elder statesman with a big run. He's hit that dreaded 3-0. He still can churn it.
I love the way you treat him with respect.
Respect.
Elder statesman. You didn't just call him an old guy or anything like that.
Call you an elder statesman.
I love the way he can still play. Talk about running it with savvy now.
They run again with Jackson. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll throw here out of the gun. And complete here to Stoneburner. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Let's go! On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. This will be caught at about the 3. He got 29 yards that time. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Trying to pound it in with Washington. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Did your high school have that same push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Didn't matter whether we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed him back at the last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Jake Stoneburner from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker. Sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the scrambler or the dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it a second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Now it's Jackson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6. And ready for 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. This is taken at the 23. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield, hit you little people.
Good run there.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
4 yards remaining now on 2nd down.
Let's go. Blue landed.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And the tackle's made there by one of the secondary members. And I can guarantee you, having played that spot in the huddle right now or on the field, they're urging for a little bit more support from the guys up front. I actually remember one game where I hopped over a defensive lineman to make a tackle downfield and realized he was 10 yards downfield. That's not good. That's being driven off the line of scrimmage, and you can't have that if you're going to win a game on defense.
A couple of Dolphins in on the stop.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's at the cornerback position.
Hang on now. Green 39. Green 39.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Their big-bodied receiver from 8 yards out, and the Ravens draw a bit closer. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken near the 13. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Geno Atkins in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Here we go now. Blue landing. Blue landing.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Offense working with a 3rd and 13 still left.
All right, here we go. Green,
They'll set up a throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It's taken to the 26. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. I think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. So 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 now. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards there on the pickup. And the Ravens are going to have a first down.
It was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Let's go. Blue landing. Blue landing.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They come up in an offset eye.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. They're calling a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. 25 yards to the house. And the Ravens have retaken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins' offense now heads back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On the ground, this is Jackson. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They run with Washington. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 8 on the gain there, and the Dolphins are going to get a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Jabal Sheard in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic. This is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
Going to give this time to the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third down.
Could be a blitzer.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's and now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. We talk about it a lot. One of the dangers of the long field goal, you got to kind of hit it low and drive it. That makes it susceptible to a block here. Not only do they block it, they return it.
And how about how well they did on the return, where they didn't create a penalty. Oftentimes in that type of a scrambling situation, someone will clip, someone will block below the waist, right? You name it. In this case, though, that didn't happen. They formed it up, and he took it all the way back for a touchdown.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And quickly, they get to the line. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they move the chains. They'll look to throw here on first down. He's got time. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Matt Darr now as he's on to punt for Miami. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Let's go. 3-9.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eugene Sims in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
They come out here in the eye, and they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry, let's just field it at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
2nd and 5. On play action, they'll throw. Surveying the field. Trying to lay one up. And got his man complete. A very solid gain of 27. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. They come out here in the eye. They'll look to throw. That's caught at the 3. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Nick Boyle, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Ravens will extend their lead. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get
Yeah, the Dolphins beef up the secondary here as they look to stop them on third down.
Green 39.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.